we are getting ready to bring on our guest today, Richard Danielson from the band Vintage Trouble. He's the drummer for the band. And I just brought up their website. So if you want to check out their website while we're interviewing him, go to vintagetrouble.com. And it's a pretty cool website. There's videos and music, and there's also the tour links are there as well. There's even a store if you like to buy some merch if you're a fan. So Lauren's getting him squared away, and we're going to be chatting with him very, very shortly. Again, if you have a question, feel free to just ask below, and we will ask him on the air. So if you have a question, feel free to ask us right here on Facebook. And I believe she's getting him on shortly. We're very excited to have him. If you're just joining us, Lauren and I were saying that we are celebrating, next week, I believe it's June 3rd. 3rd or 4th is when we started. 4 years of Chew the Scene. Isn't that insane? So we're very, very excited about that. And we've got some really fun interviews coming up soon. So we hope that you tell your friends and family about us and have them join us. And, of course, if they can't catch us live, they could always catch the replay of it on Facebook or on Lauren's YouTube channel, Lomo Mills. Thank you, Dawn. We're excited about that. Super excited.
You will be.
Oh,
you were now you're going to be on the air.
Lauren's got Richard on, so she's going to plug him in. So again, if you have any questions for Richard Danielson of Vintage Trouble, please, here's your opportunity to ask away. So just comment on Facebook. Yes, Dawn, we're going to have some champagne. Yes. Dawn, if you have a question for Richard, feel free to ask, and we will air.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we are very excited to welcome to our interwaves, all from L.A., Richard Danielson. Richard, can you hear us?
Yes. Welcome to L.A.
Yes.
I feel like I'm in the room with you guys. I was just watching you.
Awesome.
Technology is so crazy. Here we are talking.
You're in the room with us while we have all these tornado warnings here in New Jersey. It's amazing.
Nice.
What's the weather like in LA right now?
Beautiful here in LA. It's gorgeous.
Awesome.
That's why
I don't want to rub it in.
Yeah, I think that's why we need to move to LA now.
Yes, right.
So welcome to Chew the Scene. I know I've been kind of getting on Ty on Facebook. I'm like, hey, can I interview you? And he finally gave me the email, and then I got back that you were interested, and I was very excited because you guys are my favorite band.
That's awesome. We love coming to New York. It's one of our hot spots.
You got to come back. I know you were back recently, and I think I was in a rehearsal and I couldn't get in, but I was trying to explain to Danny what a Vintage Trouble show is like, and I said it's a show. These guys.
Well, as you know, we love to. We treat the audience as a fifth member. We can't do it without you guys, obviously. But the whole fun of it is the interaction. The symmetry. All the chemistry that goes on between the band and the audience. So we love playing live. It's just what we do.
Now let's go back a little in time because how did so you guys formed in 2010? How did you guys meet? Because you were originally from LA, right? And Ty's from New Jersey, I believe.
Yeah.
So how did you guys get together?
So I met Ty up in this. I live in Laurel Canyon. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the lore of Laurel Canyon, but it's where all the great music was coming out of from the 60s and 70s. There's a great new documentary coming out called Echo in the Canyon.
Ooh.
And it's just the music hotspot in Los Angeles, and it still has a residue of that sort of artistic mentality. So I live up here, and I met Ty up here doing these late night jams, literally, like improvised just jams all night with musicians. And Ty and I just clicked instantly. I swear, any groove I would put out there to this guy, he would not only come up with lyrics, but melody, on the spot. And it's we were just so in tune. So I mentioned to him, I'm like, dude, we got to do this in a band, make it happen. So when his band broke up, he called me. And he was already playing with Nalle, so they were already in a band. So there was Nalle, Ty, they grabbed me, and then we all knew Rick. So, and we did it. When we did it, we got together just to have fun. Like, we weren't trying to take over the world or anything. We just wanted to play music and get back to kind of why we were loving this in the first place. And, you know, that's a recipe for success, because you're doing what you love and it's pure and it's honest. And that's kind of how we did it.
I mean, and it is amazing. So your first album was, tell me what your first record was together.
So the Bomb Shelter Sessions was our first record. It wasn't even supposed to be a record. We were just going in the studio to make a demo, kind of to see where we were at, maybe sell, you know, from our trunks at a gig. You know, it was really something that we did in 2.5 days, and we did it for $800, and we did it live in the studio, which is pretty much unheard of today. So we all just got around in a circle, plugged in our instruments, and just went for it. And that's why that probably record has had a lot of legs, is because there's a certain charm to it, because it's just so honest. It's very raw. And like I said, it took 3 days to make. And we were only a band for 3 months when we made it.
Oh, wow.
So it was all very fresh and new. You know?
I love that. I do love that record. Blues Hand Me Down is definitely on my gym mix. Because it kind of gets me going. But you know what's cool is that you know what I've noticed with you guys is there's also been now this like evolution with your sound, which is so cool. It's the same, but it's like a little bit different, if that makes any sense. Like the essence of it's still there, but it's, you know.
Yeah, and it's in the title, you know, Chapter 2. It's like a new chapter for us. We're trying to do things a little different and be open to some outside ideas, which we were really never open before. We were so enclosed in our own little cocoon of, you know, old soul music and playing like our heroes, like live in the studio. That's what they did, so that's what we're going to do. That, you know, we would sometimes paint ourselves into a corner because we only had so many options. And we wanted to kind of branch out and evolve, and I think it's important for a band, you know, to evolve. So we tried some new recording techniques on this latest release, and just some different writing styles. And, you know, we're just trying to keep invigorated and, you know, stay fresh. And, you know, that new movie that came out, Bohemian Rhapsody, I mean, you see Queen, and they just went through, every record was like a new thing for them.
Right.
Yes.
And it kept them juiced, you know. You know, we're trying to be open, and I'm really happy we did it, because for a while, like I said, we were really just in our own cocoon, and it was working for us. But like anything, you know, Lauren, in art, you got to evolve. You know, you gotta grow.
Absolutely. So what are some of your musical influences, or you know, the band's musical influences? You talked about heroes. What are some of those heroes for you guys?
Totally. We love a certain period of music, and that's what brought us all together in the room, you know, on the same wave, which was late 50s, early 60s, rock and roll, rhythm and blues, soul, when all those styles were sort of, you know, in a stew of, you know, in a soup. It was like things were becoming things. It was all so fresh and raw and pure. That's why so many of those old, like, Otis Redding songs and Sam and David, they're all just timeless tracks, because they came from such a pure time in music. So late 50s, early 60s is really what we love. But, you know, today, you know, we're still modern kids of a modern era. So, you know, that's going to have to slip in there.
Sure.
And today we're just all over the board. And we also have so many different influences in this band. Each guy has their own take on things, and it's completely different than the other guy. And a lot of times that is a recipe for disaster, but we've really leaned into, you know, our differences. And there's been a tension, and the tension has kind of fueled us in a lot of ways. So it's best to just kind of lean into your differences in that regard, I think, and it's helped us.
And your fans are hardcore. They're called the Troublemakers.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's why I love how you brought up, you know, the collaboration between the audience and the band, because it is tangible. You can feel it when you're at a show. I was telling Danny, I'm like, Ty comes to the audience. I'm like, he's like crowd surfing. He's like leaning and jumping. I'm like, they come out and they greet the fans at the end. I mean, it's definitely, it makes a difference too when you guys do that, you know?
Yeah, people say that, like, they appreciate it. Like, a lot of their, and we're surprised, like, because it came natural for us, but a lot of bands, they don't engage their audience. And I don't think that it's that they don't want to. I think that they don't really know how to, or maybe they're shy, or maybe they are just, you know, too big on themselves. I don't know.
Right.
But it's surprising how many bands don't engage their audience. And today, the age of the sort of mysterious rock star, that's long gone. I mean, social media and technology today, everybody knows everything about everybody,
Right.
and people want that. So you have to be in touch with your fans, And our Troublemaker crowd, they're so, we feel like we got the greatest fans. I mean, it's not a cool club. Like, anybody could be in it. We have people from 5 years old to 90. They're so welcoming and warm, and we have them all over the world in different places, and they all talk to each other. And like, if some of the Japanese troublemakers come to Europe, the European troublemakers will
I love that.
take them under their wing, or vice versa. Like, you can sleep on their couch, and it's just such a great community that way. It's a beautiful thing.
And you're leaving for a tour soon, right?
Yeah, going back to Spain, to France, to the Netherlands. Just back to Europe, basically.
Yeah, I'm on your
You're
website right now, and your next show, June 7th in France.
That's so
Funny,
exciting.
I don't even know. Like, you can tell me the schedule. Okay, I'll be there.
But I do see here that August 23rd, you're back on the East Coast in New York.
Oh, yes, you are. Oh, I'm going to have to get tickets for that, actually. Maybe I should do that now. La Poussin.
Well, you guys don't get tickets because we'll get you tickets. So don't worry.
I love that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, because
Absolutely, positively, that would be our pleasure, actually. So,
yeah.
It's funny. I didn't even know we had that gig. So thanks. Where
That's
else
awesome.
am I playing?
Yeah, well,
No,
hey, Richard, just go to vintagetrouble.com.
Oh, we have a website. That's right.
For the tour. So, Richard, you're like me. When I'm like rehearsing a project, I'm like, if someone's like, when does it open? Like, when's it over? I'm like, I don't know. I just keep coming until they tell me not to come anymore. They're like,
exactly.
I just keep on showing up, Now, let me ask you, because I think Ty has done some Broadway. Are you an actor too? Were you an actor too? Or
I was an actor for a lot of years. Like, I have 13 years vested in the Screen Actors Guild, which I think that just means that I made a certain amount of money for 13 years where I get vested, so I get some money when I'm 65. I'm not quite sure how it works.
Right.
But it all came as a total shock and surprise to me. I just got busy as an actor in L.A. and ended up quitting music over it because I got so busy doing this acting thing, which I never set out to do. It's just something that happened. And it was exciting, and it was fresh, and I was meeting new, different types of people. And, I love actors so much. I think it's such a great it's just such a great art. People don't understand. Like, they just don't understand what it takes to put yourself out there like that, and to be able to press all those buttons and be in touch with your emotions or your ego or whatever it is you're getting in touch with. Acting it's tough, man. It's hard work.
You know what's so funny? Because I've been watching obsessive. Well, it's over now. Fosse Verdon, which was on FX, and the performances that Sam Rockwell and Michelle Williams give. I
love Sam.
Oh
yeah.
God! I don't want to ruin it. Spoiler. Well, I don't want to ruin it, but there's this one scene when he's at a funeral and there's like something that he does, and I was so moved. And I mean, like, not like weeping, because the way he would, the way that they were able to become these people without becoming caricatures was unbelievable to me. Because that's very easy too. We can become caricatures sometimes as opposed to becoming a person. But I agree. With, to be vulnerable as an actor, it's so hard. People don't realize that. I'm like, it's not memorizing lines. Like, that's like, it's not just memorizing words,
or just to be like, just casual and normal. Like, that takes, you have to be completely out of your way and to be able to get that handled, which seems so easy. Like you see actors and it's like, well, he's not really acting. He's just kind of being himself. Well, sometimes it's hard to be yourself.
Yeah.
There's insecurity, and you know how it is. There's ego. You're too shy or whatever. So just to be yourself is work, I love the work of actors. I love actors. I love them.
I do too. I mean, most of my friends are actors or musicians.
Right.
I love the arts. I love being around people that walk the walk and talk the talk that, just get me. And I do appreciate the people that don't, but I do feel that it's sometimes it's a struggle when I'm trying to connect with someone that doesn't really understand me. Or like my way of thinking. So now you've also made a couple of videos, right?
of the Vintage Trouble videos.
Yeah, you did the one that was on like an iPhone, I think. Was that Nancy Lee? No.
Oh, right. Yeah, we did the iPhone. It's funny. We shot a video on iPhone.
Yes, I know.
And won the iPhone Music Award or something. It was an iPhone award, like, or something. It was like a whole award ceremony. Like, it's a whole thing for iPhone. I don't know if they do it anymore, but we won it with this video we made for Nancy Lee. And it wasn't just an iPhone. It was like 8 or 9 iPhones, like, you know, like on these tripods and all these special things. But it was cool.
That's actually a great video.
That's cool. That is a great. So Lauren, I was teasing Lauren before that she was saying a Vintage Trouble show is the sexiest show you'll ever see, and that Vintage Trouble is the sexiest band ever. So I'm gonna throw it back to you, Richard. First off, I think you could use that in some kind of marketing, you know. And so, do you feel this? Is it true? Do you feel the same way that, you know, it's the sexiest show that you're going to see?
Well, I feel like I have the sexiest seat in the house because I'm in the engine back there making it happen, and I got to be honest, it's the sexiest that I've probably ever felt is playing. And I've been in a lot of bands, and I played a lot of music, you know, since I was a kid, and this is the sexiest band I've ever been in, and it feels that way because of, you know, the synergy we have back and forth with the audience. I mean, it just feels cool. I mean, it's cool being in a rock and roll band. I mean, you know, I'm boasting now, but you know, the answer is absolutely yes. It is the sexiest damn thing ever.
Well, that's the great line. Live wire, straight shooting, dirty mouth, pelvis pushing. I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's Vintage Trouble. It's a great, great line. So you have Chapter 2, and that was just released. Real recently, and then you also have because you guys do great covers. You have a great cover of Rocket Man.
Yeah, we had to do it. I mean, obviously the movie's coming out, and people are like, some people are like, oh my God, it's so ironic that the movie's coming out and you just put that song out. Well, no, we actually planned it that way. So, you know, but we wanted to give a shout out to Elton John. I mean, what a great, you know, I grew up with Elton John.
Yeah.
I mean, that music is in me, you know. So this was a great opportunity to put out a cover song, and you know, let's be honest, you know, it's good exposure for us, but we loved doing this song. I mean, it was really cool for us to be able to do it, and we did it our way. You know, we made it a little more edgy. We wanted to make it a little more Lenny Kravitz-y kind of edgy. You know, we didn't want to do it exactly like Elton. I think you got to mix it up a little bit. Otherwise, what's the point? You just sound like a cover band, you know.
Right. Well, and that's what I was going to say. Your covers don't sound like that. Your covers don't sound like that. Ooh, we're having a...
Right. And then my daughter did the art, which she is so beside herself.
Oh my gosh, she did?
Yeah, and you know, it's my young daughter, and I'm like, why don't you know, do a poster for Rocket Man, and we'll see if the band will go for it. And she did, and they loved it. It's like, okay. Because it's cool for her because she gets to show all of her friends and comes up on iTunes and, like, Spotify and Pandora, like the little thumbnail of her art, you know. So kind of really sweet for her. I was really stoked for her, actually.
And I do want to say that there are many pictures of Richard holding his daughter up with one hand. I don't know why those stopped now, because... but he has these pictures of holding her up, I guess since she was a baby...
I do. I have this whole. Eventually, I got to release the whole album, but I just called it "Raising My Daughter."
Yeah,
and I've just been holding her up since she's been little. But you see it throughout the years; she's getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
and she's 12 now, so she's almost as tall as me. But I tell you what, I do have a couple more in me. I just can't always do it. Like, if I'm feeling strong, though, it's like, hey, let's try it.
Yeah, I love those pictures. I can't believe she's 12. I mean, that's because I remember those pictures just from so long ago. It's funny because I feel like I know, like, I think because you mentioned social media, it's like I feel like we know each other in our families just because of social media, but I've never met your daughter, but I just know that these pictures always pop in my head of you.
Yeah.
And I've seen her
grow.
It's funny?
You know? Funny you say that. I felt the same way when I was watching you today. I'm like, I know Lauren. I know this girl. I've seen this girl. I've talked to this girl. I've given this girl a hug. I feel like that's the case. Am I right about that?
I know. Yeah. Well, we actually did meet briefly at the Highline Room, but it was so crazy. Because that was the night that Whoopi Goldberg was there. at your show, and we did have like a moment where like and then we connected on Facebook, and we've definitely had conversations about acting, actually, where we've conversed, back and forth, or about music, because you posted about Jeff Buckley, who I love. Yeah, so we've done. It's funny, like the blurred lines. It's like, did we meet like in the flesh?
I know, and and let's be honest, you have such a cool look, like you're hard to forget. I mean, you look cool. Like you're so cool looking.
Oh, thanks. So are you.
I mean, it stands out, But yeah, we're friends.
We are friends. No, I love you. Listen, every time like you or Ty or anyone, because I'm friends with the other guys too. Even they probably don't really know me, but I always immediately go and check out your music, and I'm like, always so excited to hear what your take on whether it's a cover or like what you're propelling forward, because you are constantly evolving, and you have to. I mean, you cannot play. We all have to evolve as artists, as people.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you get stagnant and then you get complacent. So I love seeing where you guys are going. Like, I have been around watching you guys from, I would say probably like 5 or 6 years to now. It's like you're on TV, you're here, you're playing here. It's so exciting for me as a fan to watch you grow.
Well, that's awesome to hear. It's really good to hear, because not everyone feels like you. We've had some people drop off because we're not playing what they want us to play, as if we're their own personal jukebox.
Yeah,
but thanks for hanging in with us, because like, I got to be honest, a lot of bands that I've loved as a kid, they do something and I don't necessarily like it, but that doesn't mean I'm going to leave the band, because they'll get me back on the next record or something.
Yeah, and that's that's
thanks
ego.
For hanging in.
Well, that's like ego.
That is
too.
ego.
It's
yeah.
like, you gotta be like, all right, get back. Like when people behave like that, I'm like, get back inside yourself. Do you hear yourself? That ego is taking over.
It's like they don't think about that they're artists too. I mean, these are projects that they have that they need to create, and
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But thank you for that. We appreciate that.
Yeah. No, I love you guys. I really do. You're like, I know I'm saying this again, but you are on my playlists.
She's been raving about you guys all day today. So,
and I was definitely when I heard back from, I don't know if it was your manager, your social media manager, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I texted him. I'm like, I've been waiting for this day.
Nice. That's so cool. Well, we got to hang out when get you guys tickets. You can come hang out with us when we're doing New York.
Definitely.
Whenever it is.
That'd be awesome.
August, I'll go to the website.
Yeah,
go to the
August
website.
23rd, I think.
Yeah, it's vintage here. Do you want to give the?
So it's vintagetrouble.com, and as we were saying before, it has your tour. It has all the. It's funny because I clicked on videos, and it has. I found that iPhone video.
Oh, it's so great
on here. It has all your videos. There's some lyric videos, which I love.
Photos.
Great photos.
Yeah, you guys get great photographers too. I was like, oh my god, these pictures are crazy.
Yeah, we do. And it's funny though what you can do on an iPhone today. Like a lot of those pictures, believe it or not, are just an iPhone photo.
Better than a
all this money on,
yeah,
a big photo shoot, and then we see a poster of like just some cool thing that obviously somebody took on a phone or something, and the world has changed so much. It's crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy. It's so funny. I would never imagine 20 years ago that this is where we would be. But it's kind of like who wrote like George Orwell or Orson Welles. They kind of knew, right? Or even Gene Roddenberry, the Star Trek. Sometimes I watch right? They knew.
Yeah, sometimes people think that they dictated, what's happening in the future because they were writing about it back then. I do think we're living in the most exciting time ever, though, because in our lifetime, we've seen computers and space. And, like everything seems like it's happened like right in these last years that we've all lived in. I'm aging myself a little bit, but I just feel like it's the most exciting time that's been on this earth. They say there was more iPhone photos, or there was more photos taken a number of years back when everyone started getting their smartphones than in 1 year that had been taken in the whole history of the earth.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I believe it.
And and it's funny that you say that too, because and we've also I've got to experience, not live, but like I lived in the time of David Bowie, Prince, Tom Petty, even like Lady Gaga, like you know what I mean? I'm like, but even like Tony Bennett's still with us.
Yeah.
You have all these great luminary artists, and I'm like, wow, I get to be alive around them, and I wouldn't change it as much as I love, because I'm like you, I love the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the clothes, the music, but I still am. I'm happy where my soul or my spirit has landed in the space-time continuum, you know?
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's a good feeling, because some people, not everyone feels like that. You know?
Right. And I think some people are afraid to go forward with this transition, you know, like, oh, everyone's on their phones. But you know what? But everyone was like watching TV when TV came out.
Right.
Everyone was sitting around their radios.
Maybe they're watching TV on their phone.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So you can follow Vintage Trouble. It's basically on all the socials are Vintage Trouble on Insta.
You can just Google Vintage Trouble, and it's crazy what comes up.
Yeah, really. I mean, it's
just so much stuff out there. You know, people. It's funny, when we first started playing, like, it was a little unnerving because we couldn't play a show without it ending up on YouTube the next day, and that's a little daunting at first because you're like, oh my God, I got to be on all the time.
Right.
But you just get used to it. You know.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I was going to ask you, because is it weird for people to, because this happens to me sometimes, people will come up to me and talk to me like they know me, and I'm like, I don't know who you are, but hi. Is that weird? You know, like, but they really are talking to me like they know me. It's either from this show or from a show I was in or something. Is that weird for you to have a complete stranger come up and know more about you than you know about them?
I guess it is a little bit, but you know, I try to keep my head, you know, grounded, and just try to be normal, of course, when that happens. And I think people appreciate that about us as a band, like you were saying earlier, is that, you know, we're not all high and mighty on ourselves. We appreciate people, and, you know, we show them respect, and we therefore get it back, you know. And we learned that, by the way, from some of the greats. Like when we toured with AC/DC, for example, those guys were so good to us. They lifted us up and made us feel like, you know, they empowered us and made us feel like we belonged there. And even the Who, like when we first played with the Who, you know, they came out and said, after our first show, they said, give these guys all the screens behind us, you know, and there was a lot of screens, and we were like digging through our computer, like, oh my God, what would we put on those screens, you know? And they said, you know, we love you guys because you know, when we come out, we feel like the crowd is warmed up. You guys really do that for us. And they just treated us so good that we started paying that forward and treating the bands that were opening for us with the same respect.
Right.
And you don't see that a lot. It's weird with musicians. There's egos, and people want to try to one-up you, and people get insecure. And, you know, musicians don't always treat each other great, and they should treat each other better, but they don't always do it.
And it's the same thing with actors, too. I mean, any kind of, you know, you would think that you would have the same respect for each other because of the, you know what the other ones, what they're going through, but that's not the case.
Yeah, empathy. Yeah, totally.
Someone one of our listeners on Facebook here just said, Vintage Trouble are humble and so grounded.
That
was Dawn.
Dawn Ward Lowe. She knows you guys.
She said that she's a friend of Ty's, and she met you a while back, and she was at the show at the Highline as well.
Yeah, she was at the Highline, which is so cool.
I love the Highline that keeps on giving. I love that.
I know.
That was cool. I remember that show well. It was a cool venue.
But I feel like, I think they closed. I don't think they're there anymore. Really? Yeah, there was something that was, I mean, don't quote me on that, but I remember seeing something briefly. They were closing down. It was a cool venue because it had the up balcony with the tables. But you guys are, I feel like now you guys are playing such bigger arenas, and like, so let's talk about TV. So you were on David Letterman.
Yeah, that was a trip. That was cool.
And he loves you guys. I mean, he like loves you guys.
He was so good to us. Apparently, we were only the second band that got an encore. Like he actually came out and said, "Keep playing," and they said that just never happened.
That's awesome.
What a cool. Just to be on that show was like a dream, you know.
Yeah. I mean, and like every time these things fall into place, you know, it's like the next good thing is going to happen. I think it's because you guys are humble. You're talented. I mean, when you are so tight. I mean, his drumming is so tight. Like you'll have to listen to what's it? Knock Me Out starts out with a drum solo, and it is so tight. It is unbelievable. Oh, sorry, I get a little feedback. It's amazing. So you guys are talented, but you're humble. I love that you connect with the fans.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There's like a weird like my sound thing, but and I think because you are connected with the audience, you know, we can feel that if a band is disconnected or if a band thinks that they're, you know, too good. we as an audience can feel that. So like, I think that's why you guys are successful, because you really do appreciate your fans.
We really do. And let's be honest too, we got an incredible front man that can do it all, which is amazing. And we back them up. It's a band full of alpha males, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, we're all pretty like, let's do this. So, we call each other out, like, you can't slack in this band. It's just, you can't do it. So we got to be tight and we got to be on our game. And, it's just, we all feel blessed though to have each other, even though, we get at each other sometimes, but, like a good brotherhood does. But, we feel fortunate to have each other.
Well, that happens in families. Families fight, but the strong ones will survive. And they, because you know what? If you guys didn't disagree, it would mean that one of you was not being honest. One of you, you know what I mean? Because no one gets we're
upset.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to disagree because you got to be yourself. And then the strong, survive. I mean, there's going to be disagreements. I mean, and
Absolutely.
That's what, So now you have Chapter 2, which was just released, your cover of Rocket Man. You're leaving on tour to go to Europe. Then what's next?
And next, we're going to come back from that tour and probably try to get to work on some more songs. What we wanted to do, and I love it that we're in this new phase, is that we want to release more music more often, not like wait for a record in a year and a half or something. That's why we split this last record, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, or EP 1 and EP 2, on Chapter 2, into 2 EPs, when really, to be honest with you, it's just all one record, and it will end up one day as just a complete record. But we split it up because we want to release music, more often, and a lot of bands are doing that. And it's a singles market now. People don't listen to records anymore, unfortunately. Yeah. I mean, that's a blanket statement, but the attention span out there has gone to nil. So you got to keep feeding the machine, So next for us, we're going to try to keep feeding it and put out more music, and that's exciting.
That's great.
It's exciting for me, for sure.
And who knows what's coming next now that we've opened it up? I mean, who knows what's going to come next from us? I mean, we're not going to do a reggae album or something, but now we're wide open, and we're even allowing other elements to come into our music. Like on this Chapter 2, we had keyboards, which we were always totally not wanting to do, and now we have the keyboard in there, So who knows? On the next record, we might have a horn section or something different, So we'll see. We don't know right now. We have no idea what we're going to do, but something's got to happen.
So what do you do to unwind? We talk a lot on here about self-care and so when you're not working, you mentioned your daughter, so your family. So, but what else do you do to just kind of chill out?
That's a good question. I love to write. I found that out on the road, that I had so much downtime that what do I do? And, if I wasn't playing music and I could be a writer, that's probably what I would be gravitating to, because I love it. So you don't have to tell me to write. Like, if you give me any free time, I just naturally go there. So that's kind of, I guess, what my pastime would be. And every guy in the band has different things, some guys, what does everyone do, I guess? Ty has so many friends and is very social, and I think he spends a lot of time doing that, and that's awesome. Nalle, he plays his guitar constantly. Like, he doesn't seem to have downtime. Like when you call him on the phone, you can hear his guitar playing, fiddling on his guitar. And, when we're out on the road, we all try to get out and take good long walks and see the sights. And, you got to kind of, put back into your body a little bit, because it gets pretty grueling to be on the road, to be honest with you. It's hard on the body,
Yeah.
You don't know when you're sleeping. Your digestive cycle is all off. Like, you don't know if you're coming or going.
Right.
Your body clock is just weird. You're not eating the right foods most of the time because it's not available. You're out of your routine. It's not as glamorous as people would think, to believe. It's hard.
No, my brother-in-law is in a band called Railroad Earth. He's the lead singer, and he's actually said the same thing. It's like the tour after a while. I mean, like, he's grateful for it, and he appreciates it, but he says the same thing. It's tiring. You're sleeping on a bus, or you're eating at odd hours, or like you're leaving a show and then going to the next show. So I know people, people don't understand, and I think with artists that they just don't understand how grueling it could be. Because someone will say to me, I really don't complain much about, I'm very lucky that I get to do what I get to do, but I'm still a person. I'm going to have a human moment where I feel a little weak or I need to recharge. And someone's like, well, you shouldn't complain. You're living the dream. I'm like, no, I get it, but it's like, I'm still a person.
I'm working the dream. I'm working hard at the dream.
I'm like,
exactly. No, I know people don't quite get it.
Yeah, they don't get it because I think sometimes people think what we do is a hobby. And I actually had someone say to me recently, and I couldn't believe she said it. She said to me, I can imagine doing, theater and acting and directing for a living like you do. And I'm like, oh, she finally, she's getting it. I said, it is hard. And it's a lot of homework. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of stuff behind the scenes. So it's
right. Labor of love, because not everyone's getting paid for their hard work. Right. You probably spent a lot of years, Lauren, just hashing it out before you got to success, probably,
Oh, yeah, or like volunteering just to get experience. I mean, people say, the experience, but... or getting paid minimally because it was like an independent project, and this is what the the budget was. But it's definitely not easy. But I wouldn't want it any other way. So it's like I'll take the good with the bad. Of course, I know we're the lucky ones that we get to do this. I mean, I feel very strong.
We really are, and it's good. Good on you for recognizing that, because it is a lot of work, but you love what you do, and you are one of the lucky ones, because not everyone gets to do what they love.
Absolutely.
So good for you.
Yeah, and you too. I mean, it's exciting, and I'm definitely coming to that show on the 23rd. I'm definitely
okay. So private message me, because I'm serious. We'll get tickets for you guys, and we'll hook you all up.
Awesome. Totally thank you so much.
So, Richard, thank you so much for giving us your time today. You have no idea how excited I was.
Oh, man, it's my pleasure. It's totally my pleasure. You guys are awesome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you. And then we record the shows, and once it gets up, I'll share the YouTube link with you. But thank you. Keep the music, keep the energy. Vintage Trouble is like VintageTrouble.com. My happy place.
Go to VintageTrouble.com. Check out their website.
Yes.
Thanks, Danny.
Thank you so much, Richard.
Thanks, Richard.
Hey, we'll see you guys in August.
Yes.
Absolutely.
NYC.
Yep. All right. Bye.
Take care.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Oh, we said in a conference call. Oh, because I was conferenced in. Okay. That's
Richard. Why there was a little bit of
I think that's why there was a little bit. But, maybe Kevin can do a little.
He could do his thing.
Oh, Todd was listening. I am so happy right now.
That was what a great guy, and they seem like such an awesome band,
Danny,
and we're going to NYC.
Danny, I needed that today. Didn't you need that today?
Yeah, to get out of the funk.
We were like funky town.
You know what, too? Like, we'll interview some people, and I felt like I could, even though it was through the phone, I felt like I could feel his energy as an artist.
He said. Right? He was like, I'm there with you guys.
Yeah, I could just feel his energy throughout the interview, and you could just see you could hear the passion.
You know what?
Through.
You need to, when you drive home, pull up some Vintage Trouble, because I'm telling you,
download some of my Apple Music.
It's so good. Just don't drive fast, because it definitely has that the music just makes you want to
Well, I gotta prepare for August.
I know, you better know.
Because when I go to a concert, I want to know the music. I want to really
listen. Even this morning, I listened to Rocket Man again, and I love it. I love their not their version.
I wish we could play some music now.
I know they won't let us play music, because then they're going to turn us off. Facebook and YouTube. That's the only reason why we stopped doing music, because it's we're not stealing.
I know. Ow.
We want to share. We want to help out our friends. But definitely go to VintageTrouble.com. They have great
an amazing
Your website
website.
is amazing. I mean,
it's so nice. And on Facebook, just look them up on Facebook. At Vintage Trouble is I believe their handle. I mean, I just typed in Vintage Trouble on Facebook, and you're able to get them there. So.
Oh my gosh!
Awesome.
Can I just tell you, honestly, I'm smiling so much on the inside.
And it was kind of cool how Dawn's a big fan as well.
I know, and Dawn is amazing. Dawn's actually a great dancer. Dawn, do a dance class. I need a daytime dance class. Teach a dance class, Dawn. I need to dance. Especially after watching.
She needs to dance.
I just want to dance. Especially watching Fosse Verdon. Oh, I miss.
She now wants to be Gwen Verdon.
How does she do that voice? the Gwen Verdon. She
I haven't
just
seen it yet.
Sounds,
Is that how she sounds like?
Yeah, she literally, it was unbelievable. And even how she aged, how they both aged, I was in awe.
Well, that's the makeup.
No, not maybe. Not maybe, Dawn. Come on now.
She's like, come on now, do it.
Do it. So Vintage Trouble, I'm beaming. That was so much fun for me. So we've been on the air for 4 years, and Danny and I sometimes, like, when we, we obviously talk other times than, just here. And we were like, can you believe all these people that we get to talk to? We've talked to the most interesting, diverse people on our show, and this is why we did the show.
I saw the prom again over Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, I saw that.
And Larry Hochman did the orchestration.
Yes, I gotta reach out to him again.
Tony Award winner Larry Hochman. He's on the curtain call committee.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he wasn't there though. He was on the phone.
He was busy on the Broadway.
But I remember saying to Nicole, I said, I know Larry Hochman. I said he was on the show in the studio.
I know. I gotta get him back
on the phone. He was in the studio. And it's just amazing. And Nicole Van Giesen, who's like, in Dear, she's killing it in Dear Evan Hansen.
She is doing amazing things.
Jackie
Martland.
Drew
McVitie. Who else? Sal Valentinetti.
Yeah, America's Got Talent.
Brendan Fletcher.
The Voice.
Who else? I just interviewed, you weren't here, Carrie Manolakis, who's like amazing singer-songwriter. Wendy Sweetlove, who was watching Q.
Oh my God, Peter
Onorati.
Do you know that Richard sounds like Milo Ventimiglia?
Oh, he does a little bit. Oh my God.
It was like just the way he talks.
Actually,
just like the inflection.
I was just talking to Peter.
I was thinking of not Peter. Peter Onorati. Dan Loria
from the Wonder Years, but again, he does some New Jersey things.
And of course, all of our New Jersey
friends,
all
Laura
of our New Jersey friends.
Stephen
Bob Carr.
Nicole's been here. Our friend Brooke Hoover.
Rick Engler.
I said Laura Ekstrand.
Lori and Steve.
Lori and Steve have been in. Nicole's been in. We've
had the mayor of Boonton.
We had the two female, the candidates for alder women.
Yes, we had our buddy from Eye to Eye.
Eye to Eye dropped us off some nachos. There was a little drama. Remember, we had a little bit of a political drama when we had the two ladies in.
We did?
Because the people that they were going against, I guess, watched our video. And I had made a comment about, like, not them being, like, old people, but, like, the...
So did you start the drama?
I did, but they didn't realize it was me. I was like, oh shit, I'm embroiled in some political drama.
But you were a resident at the time.
Yes.
So you can, you're a resident. You can speak your mind.
I was just saying how, I was like, there needed to be like a little bit of a change because the old way, and they took it the wrong way, but it was definitely like it was kind of cool. It was kind of like Shakespeare, or like, it was a little like Greek or like Roman. Wrote like a little like et tu brute. I was like, oh, look at me. I'm in the middle of a crossfire.
We should seriously find out how many people we've interviewed.
I know.
Because I'm sure there's like some kind of crazy number that we can
I have to get more up on the YouTube. Kevin does all my YouTubing because he's way better at it than me. So I have to get Carrie Manolakis. She just had her show last Monday at Rockwood Music Hall. And like I said, 54 Below Monday, a bunch of my Facebook friends, Laura Molina, Joe Calvieri, I'm pronouncing it wrong, my friend Sean, they're all reuniting. I would love to go. Rock of Ages.
Rob Rokicki
we've interviewed.
Brian Gallagher.
Who
just performed.
I said we
were going to go.
But I had tech.
Yeah. Brian Gallagher performed with his wife Megan.
Yeah, Megan Hilty. I know. I feel like I'm so bad on the spot.
On the spot, it's bad. But I mean, it's just kind of coming to me.
But we just love that we get to talk to all these wonderful artists or politicians, or we've we've interviewed doctors, yogis,
Justin Anthony Long, and
Johnny Lee Jr.,
Johnny Lee, and Amanda Duncan, and Joanna Burns. I was like Amanda Burns. I like totally.
Yeah.
Long, Lee, Burns, and Duncan.
Yes.
Sometimes Duncan. Is it sometimes Duncan?
Yeah, sometimes Duncan. We've also had, oh my God.
Gregory Allen, who's killing it with his film.
God. He was just at Cannes. Amazing. So happy for him. We had Fourth Wall come in.
They performed.
That was so exciting.
Oh my God, we're like having our little
We're like memory lane. It was like Tom Shopper, Marcus.
Tom Shopper, yes.
Marcus Hauk. Is that his? Marcus Hauk. and people that were in Guys and Dolls.
Marcus was here. That's Loris's husband.
Yeah, he was on that. Yeah. Who else?
I'm just trying to vision people that were sitting right here.
I know. I'm trying to remember too.
We had
Dave Murgatroyd, the
Giancarlo.
Who?
Giancarlo Fernandez.
Oh, Giancarlo and Roman.
And Roman.
Yes, they were talking about Boys of B, which was a great film. And then we had
oh my gosh.
My friend Amy Griffin.
And you know what's so cool about this show, Amy Griffin? What's so cool about this show is like they're like my friends on Facebook now.
I know.
You know? And a lot of it is because of this one over here.
I'm like, be friends with them.
Yeah. No, it's true though. I mean, like just the connections you make.
You know, I love that Richard said, you know, a lot of artists, musicians are jealous or competitive. I just don't feel that way. Like even today I was talking about our friend. I'm like, what is she up to? This is so great. I'm like,
no, that's I give you so much credit for that because you are all about what is it? It's like love and
like I'm really not jealous of other people.
Positivity and all that, you know,
I feel competition
and uplifting each other, and you know, your success is my success.
Yeah, and I know, and I truly believe, and this is what I try and teach my children. Yes, healthy competition is great, but there's a fine line between healthy competition and toxic competition, and there's really room for us all. And I firmly believe what is meant for me will come to me. So if I don't get cast in a film or a voiceover, it wasn't meant for me.
Yeah.
And then I move past it. You know?
I just thought of another guest. I can't think of her name though.
Who?
St. Louis.
Oh, the woman that we did she was
the closet.
Susan. Oh my gosh, she was great though. She talked about.
And funny thing was that was when it was snowing here.
Yes.
And we had that freak storm where people were like, I was stuck in the storm for 5 hours.
That's when I was supposed to go to Toto, and I didn't get to go to Toto. That was a bummer.
We had Sandy Taylor as well.
Yes.
Because she was performing at Mayo.
Yep.
Kevin
Lynch, and then he comes back and forth. He was like a guest.
Kevin Lynch.
Kevin Lynch, the rabble rouser.
Jason Zamretta.
Yeah.
We're just thinking about Jason today.
Yeah. Who else?
Oh my gosh.
We said Rick. I don't know. I should go look at but we've definitely had like amazing, amazing guests on our show.
Mm-hmm.
We definitely had,
and this show has evolved so much too.
I know. Well, and that's
started off as just a theater show. And we were playing music.
Yeah,
we were just playing. We used to play music all the time.
Yeah, and then we were
then we moved into the Facebook land, and we talk about everything now.
We just talk about just life,
talk radio.
We focus. Yeah, we're talk radio. Now we just chew the scene. We don't talk about politics though.
And you know what's really cool too is like if someone was like, "Oh, what's your favorite guest?"
I don't think I have.
I don't have one, and it's kind of hard to pick because I think they're all different.
They are all
different.
They're
all like really. They've all been really fun, and you would get something out of them, and we never know. I think it's when they're in studio, it's a little bit different because they are here, but like our phone ones, we never really know what to expect. And we don't necessarily give people a time limit either. Like,
no,
we just
we're
let
just
them
like
know.
It could be from like 15
I think we usually
minutes
say
like
like
an hour.
15, 20 minutes, and then if they want to talk and we're having a great conversation, we'll keep going. So.
Well, that's what like Brian was like. I feel like I know you guys, like Brian Gallagher.
Yeah.
Which is a great record. You need to go.
The Brownstone.
The Brownstone's so good. Megan Hilty, another great album.
Yeah.
Who else do we have? Marcus Randolph. You weren't here, but I've interviewed him twice.
Yes, we had Chelsea Friedlander.
Chelsea was a great interview. Opera singer. My friend Brittany came in. My friend Chris Vam came in. Brittany is an opera goddess, my opera goddess girl. My friend Chris Vam is an amazing voiceover artist and coach and now producer. She's been in, and we had a great time on the air together.
There's someone that I can't think of the name.
Should go look. We're bad.
I know who it is. Hold on.
We have bad memories, but we'll remember. Jay Lustig has been in.
Jay Lustig was here.
Bill
yeah.
Westoven.
Bill Westoven, yes, who now has.
So if you have a project going on that is this weekend, why don't you drop it in the comments? Give this live video a like, and then drop in the comments what you're doing. Promote your shows here. Why the heck not?
J. Armstrong Johnson.
We interviewed him?
Mm-hmm.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
No, we did not.
Maybe we will now.
I was like, I met him at BroadwayCon.
No, I thought I was thinking.
No, we didn't interview him. I would remember that. Danny. Now Danny is having phantom memories of people that we've interviewed.
There was someone with
but
that
next
last
week,
name.
remember Drew McVitie. And the show is the something of Comrade. What's his name? I cannot remember the full title because it's a little long.
Jenna Rocca. No,
Jenna
we didn't really
Rocca.
interview her, but she's called in.
She has.
I'm trying to. Jay. Didn't we interview someone with the name Jay? Besides Jay
Lustig.
Lustig? Someone else.
Because I know who Jay Armstrong is. That's why I was like, I don't think I interviewed him. You don't know.
We're going to now. Watch.
Guys, what are you gonna? While he's looking, what are we gonna watch on TV? Fosse Verdon's done. I don't think anything's gonna be as fulfilling, but I am excited for the Downton Abbey movie.
What's his name? Oh my God, we talked about
which
that
was another fulfilling ending. Yeah. So what are we gonna watch, guys? Dead to Me's done. I know Big Little Lies is starting.
Richard something.
Just look on my Insta. Look on my Insta.
Well,
don't forget to get your tickets for Disenchanted, womenstheater.org. You can buy them right online. Fun show. These girls are working their tuchuses off. Their tuchuses. I wonder how you spell that. My friend was laughing because I put tchotchka in my...
Yes, tchotchka.
And she's like, I don't know. She's like, I just learned how to spell tchotchka. What is that?
I'm good. I knew it's your Instagram.
Oh.
How do you look at Instagram if you're not on your phone?
Really? I didn't even know
you
could do that.
Oh, you learn something new every day.
I learned something today. So Carrie Manilakis was last week.
We didn't do this with every guest, though, so let's see.
I thought we did. They should be. Percy Jackson.
Well, that was Rob Rokicki.
Oh, I interviewed the Micro Musical Theater show. That was really interesting.
Oh, yeah. You also interviewed someone who wrote a book recently, too.
Yes. Oh, I also interviewed the women, the Salt. I've had a couple of really, really cool interviews. So, yeah, it's...
Oh, our friend across the street.
Who? Ron came in.
Kern.
We still didn't get our free adjustment.
Yeah, Ron.
Hey, Kev.
Hey, Kev. What are you up to, Kev? We were talking about you.
Kev, I was saying you're a troublemaker. You are a troublemaker.
You are.
You missed our interview, but Kevin is my troublemaking, rabble-rousing friend.
But
I love you.
It's not loading right now. But anyway, point made. We've interviewed so many people across the wide and lonesome prairie.
I know, and it's you know what, and it's amazing that even last week, because Carrie was in LA too. We've done all these LA people. It's amazing. Oh, the people that did that immersive theater show.
Yes, Tango with the Twist.
Yes. And actually, they have a show coming up that they invited us to. So if we want to go, we can get free tickets.
When?
It's at the Avenel Performing Arts Center. I'll look it up.
Okay.
But they want to invite us. No, them. But remember the guys that it was like the Starlight show.
Give us tickets. We're a great time in New York City.
We go out to dinner. We get a couple. We
lose our credit card.
I'm just being funny.
What did he say?
What
did I do?
What didn't you do?
Kevin.
Do I even need to tell you? I love you. No, the people that did that Starlight, the theater where you walked around New York. Remember they called? That's me. That's why I was wondering if that's who you're thinking of.
No, I was thinking of the Tango with the Twist.
But that was great.
No,
Ballet with a twist.
That was ballet with a twist.
Ballets
with a twist.
Because we were very interested in that. It was, and I saw.
You saw it. That was at the
Eagle,
White Eagle Hall. I'm like the Eagle.
It was amazing.
The Eagle's like a gay bar. Like you saw them at the Eagle.
I would go.
The White Eagle Hall.
I'd go. I'm like.
I think you should add. I'm just here now. You should add a circle that's for To the Scene.
I had one, didn't I?
Where? Oh, right there.
I do. It's my first.
I gotta log in. This is too much work.
Actually, I gotta take down the theater. I have to. I need to redo my Insta. Follow me on Insta, Lomo Mills. I like Insta better than Facebook these days. What does Kevin say? I'm blind.
Is it supposed to storm tonight in New Jersey? Our flight is shaky.
Ooh, I don't know, Kev. It has been Tornado Alley here.
There's bad weather again.
Is there tonight?
Yeah, thunderstorms.
We're just living it. We're just.
It's, you know what, folks? It's the new normal.
It is the new normal.
New Jersey's the new Kansas.
So here's
Put on your ruby slippers, folks, and buckle up.
Look at Bloody Andrew Jackson. You guys, this show's going to be crazy because I just read, by the way, so I only knew the show.
Maybe your YouTube channel, I could also see like what videos you have up there.
I only knew Bloody from the cast recording.
Oh my God.
So now I finally got the script and I was like, holy shit. It is dark and funny and satirical, and it's going to be amazing. Oh, this is my Paris Seekers.
No, but I wanted to look up the videos. Why is it not taking
my
the videos?
red carpet interview.
Where's your
I'm
channel?
a big deal.
Oh, that's not your YouTube thing.
You had to put Lemon Mills. I'm a big deal, you guys.
She's a big dill pickle.
I love pickles.
She's a big dill pickle.
Never mind.
Oh, you have 20 videos. Let's see.
But I have to.
Paul Shelby.
Who's watching? Paul Shelby, who was the Peaky Blinders.
Ari Frankel. Loved that video.
Oh, Alejandro.
Alejandro.
I'll never forget Alejandro.
Ballet with the Twist.
Robert Kiki.
Tim Quick,
who gave us the backstage tour.
Lee Shorten.
Oh, that's who you're thinking of. Lee
Shorten, Man in the High Castle.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like we're remembering who we interviewed. This is what happens when you interview all these people. So we've had some real, and these are the music videos that I've been in some other videos.
There's some. So go to
Lauren.
Go to YouTube.com. In the search, type in Lauren Moran Mills. There's some great videos.
And I'm going to
great interviews.
Yeah, and we're going to be putting up some more. And I know Kevin has some ideas, right, Kev? If you're still watching,
I love that
to
photo,
kind of
by the way.
boot. Oh, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Look how short my hair is. To boost.
Paul Shelby.
I know. That's what I said. I said, "Hey, Paul, we were just talking about you." So we've had, we're very lucky here at Homegrown, at Chew the Scene. We love spending time together. We love spending time with our faithful listeners who tune in every week. We know it's not easy.
Who gave us
I made such great friends though on here. Like actually Peter Onorati and I will talk every once in a while. He's an old Bhutanite and he comes home all the time and he's so proud of
Even though you abandoned This Is Us.
I did. I know I did.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I did too.
I felt bad.
I did
but
too.
I can't like that. I can't do long.
No,
that's
you know
why
what it is?
Flossie Verdon was great for me.
It's not that I can't do long. Once I miss a couple episodes,
I know,
all
I
of a
hate
sudden I'm
catching-
like, oh, I can't catch up.
No, it's like I feel the same way.
Even though like Game of Thrones, I like totally like missed a couple seasons.
But you know,
I still
poor
watched
Kit
them.
Harington is now in rehab for stress. So you know what?
Do you believe that?
No, I think I feel like maybe he's
Because
coming
of
down off.
stress, or he's
Well, it
coming
says
off of the
stress and
high?
alcohol.
Okay.
But someone was saying that he had like, now this is of course what I read online. Don't quote me, because I didn't hear it from the horse's mouth or the dragon's mouth.
Oh,
He never felt like he was doing a good job, and not for nothing. We're kind of douches as fans, the way we kind of
my
pick
God.
on people.
Awful.
And I get it. You can have an opinion. Like no one's saying you can't have an opinion. I think what's lost in our society because of social media is decorum, and I think the way we talk to people, and I think the way we treat people is just getting worse. Because there is a disconnect. So who knows? Maybe he was feeling down coming, he had that show on for what 8 years. A lot of fans didn't like the finale. I was fine with it. I don't really know what people expected. First of all,
people are never satisfied.
did we talk about this last week?
We
talk
did.
about okay, we talked about I mean, I think they tied it up exactly how it was supposed to be. He didn't want to be king.
People are never
satisfied.
satisfied. They're just never satisfied.
And people love to hate, and don't tell me you don't. Don't tell me you don't. Everyone goes into everything wanting to hate it because it makes them feel better. Get back inside yourselves. Take a beat.
Mama says, get back inside yourself.
Get back inside yourselves.
Lomo Mills, get back inside yourself.
And if you don't
get back inside yourselves, folks, and go check out the sexiest band ever.
Yes.
Vintage Trouble.
Yes, I love it.
Yes.
Kevin said yes. What does he say? We have to what?
It's business stuff. We have to rebrand to get things moving.
Yes, yes. Rebrand. We love it, guys.
Yeah, get your ass over here first, okay?
Yeah.
On your shaky plane.
In South Carolina.
You said where you was.
Oh shit!
I
sorry.
already blew where you
know.
live.
That's okay.
It's not like I said that you live at like 423 Main Street. That's not the address.
I don't know if there is a 423 Main Street.
It's probably like Don's Sandwich Shop.
I know. Which I'm
it's not like I said your phone number is like 973,
Yeah, saying it 555
555.
Also 55555.
Can we just talk about real quick with phones? This is so random, but do you notice now with robocalls and like solicitors how insane it is now?
I know.
Now they're calling you from cell phone numbers.
I know.
Like they think that you're that dumb.
I don't pick up a phone if I don't recognize it.
Yeah, like, oh, someone's calling me from Jersey City. I must know who it is. No, leave me a message if it's important. Mm-hmm. Didn't leave me a message, then it's not important.
Oh, no, you know what I get? I get the messages, Google's verification code.
Yes.
And then I'll get the text message from like a random text, like, please send us the verification code.
You're like, nope.
And I think I sent them a 6. Oh, I just gave the finger. I just sent them a 6 emoji. I'm like, here, I got your 6-digit number.
That's
and
the
then,
6th
and then I blocked
emoji?
them.
The middle finger is the 6th emoji?
No, I just did it 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Gotcha.
and then I block them. Because, like, yeah, I'm going to send that to some random. Because once I did, I was stupid. They go, oh, yes, thank you for this, but we also need this. Because Google, I think, has a 2 verification. Gmail.
2-step or whatever.
Thank God.
You're like, I'll give you a 2-step and give him a dance.
Yeah, I'll give you a little bit of a boom. So anyway.
Boom,
Boom, boom, boom. Don't make me walk into that kitchen with my raw chicken.
I made chicken last night. I was so worried it was going to be raw.
Were you like,
I was like, I don't want Lauren Mills walking in here. Because
raw.
you cut into the chicken and it's raw, and all of a sudden she just appears. She just appears and she goes, don't do that.
This chicken is raw.
This chicken is raw.
I am so proud of
make you. I think that should be a meme.
It should be a meme.
You should be like, and it's like, this chicken is raw. Or maybe it's you holding a plate of chicken.
Yes. Everyone, I guess I didn't think it was it was odd that I walked into the kitchen, but apparently it was odd that I walked into the kitchen. Everyone.
Well, I mean, but they haven't. But the way that theirs,
it's not like it's
an open kitchen,
yeah,
so it's easy to walk into.
Yeah,
it's not like you were like literally like weaving your way around, and you're like, "Where's the kitchen? This way." Okay, thank you.
No, it's like,
can you imagine? Wouldn't that be great if the kitchen was like downstairs and you made your way down there?
But I would.
I know you would.
Know.
This chicken is raw.
That's like from Girl Interrupted when she calls the chicken the kitchen.
Oh my God! When she's eating the chicken and it's under her bed.
Yeah, but which was like a poor Brittany Murphy, so sad.
Oh, I know.
But I have to rewatch that movie because was that because she was molested by her dad? So she had the chicken under the bed, right? Wasn't she molested by her dad?
No, I thought it was because she had like an eating disorder. She had food under her bed.
But why did she call the kitchen the chicken?
Oh, I don't know.
I have to rewatch Girl Interrupted.
But I can't go back. I can't get out of my head a meme of you going, "This chicken is raw."
I'm sure there's some pictures of me out there that we can make a meme.
So tell everybody our guest next week.
So next week, my friend Drew McVitie is going to be calling in. He's a producer, actor. He's actually he's a chef. He's done some personal cooking for me too. And we first met, I always say, and I'll say it again next week, on Facebook because I was home with the baby, and he was still in Billy Elliot before it closed, and he was selling like fresh produce. So I went to the city, met him at the stage door, bought some Swiss chard. I happened to be in the city that day. I didn't just go into the city for that.
To buy was it like good Swiss chard?
Yeah, it was great. It was like
he was wearing. Oh my God, he was selling produce from the stage door.
Well, no, it was just I was like, I'm in the city. He's like, well, I'll bring it in.
So
he
had his own. He had produce that he was selling.
He wasn't like black market.
I mean, why not? Hey, you never know.
There's a little Swiss chard deal going on behind the scenes, but oh, what's that? That was like an interesting whatever. Anyway, so and then we became friends, and he has 3 kids, and he's married, and I've been like, let's talk about your show. Let's talk about your show. He wrote a musical called The Bridge. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I went to the reading for that. Like I said, I've seen him in like a million shows. He saw my last 5 years. He came to see it. So he's going to call in next week and talk about his show. And then my friend Sean, who was like one of the tenors of rock. He plays with Doug Flutie. He in Doug Flutie's band. He is a singer-songwriter. He was in Rock of Ages. He was in Jekyll and Hyde on Broadway, which is how he knows Brian Gallagher and Constantine and everyone. So he is going to be coming in a couple weeks. So that's exciting. So we're kind of going out with a bang.
Like if you're wondering, wow, they have all these guests coming in. Well, we are ramping up for our summer hiatus. Mm-hmm. So we're just trying to get people in, make it exciting for you. And then we could hit you with those YouTube videos that you can watch over the summer.
Yeah. And, I might have a couple of interviews. Like on a Sunday, I've had some artists like, hey, can I call in on a Sunday?
Yeah, maybe we could do, like we always say we want to do that.
So
or like on the road or something.
Yeah,
something on the road.
do some
or,
things.
We could even do something before an event.
Yeah.
Like Vintage Trouble.
And, so. Yes. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. It was another great show. I feel better. Richard,
and you know what? It's brighter outside.
Did you notice when we were talking to Richard that it was like, I'm telling you, don't.
What? Wait, real quick. What happened yesterday that I totally thought of you?
What?
It was something. It was something that I got. What did I get? Oh, I can't think of it. Shoot. Oh, okay. I'm not going to say it on the air. I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
But it was something that
Sorry,
happened, and I said, hell yeah, I manifested that shit.
Oh, yeah, baby. You got to manifest it. And I'm telling you, when you shift your focus, you can choose happiness. Sometimes it's hard. And there's, like, today was hard for me. I just woke up, like, in a funk, and I really do think it's the weather, the humidity.
Allergies, I think, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I never really had allergies issues like I feel like I do now.
But it's like...
And then you don't know if it's allergies. That's the thing. Allergies are so, like, unknown.
Yeah, it's like an enigma.
You're like, is it allergies?
Or am I
getting sick? Or is it just, like, the weather? Like, what the hell is it?
I don't know.
Help! What is that? I don't know.
We want to know.
All right, guys. So we will see you next week. Peace, love, and all that other stuff.
Tune in. Bye
Bye.
now.
Love you.